Our approach, honestly, has always been, how do we serve the church as best as we humanly can? The thing about us is that, we don't feel like there's a cookie cutter solution for everybody. Our job is to get incredibly curious and to ask a lot of questions to understand what's the story of God in this community. The mistake that I see a lot of people make is that they assume they know what a church needs or what a group needs. Our hope is always that when the pastor or the technical director or the production director or the worship pastor walks in after we've done a project with them, that they literally feel like, oh my gosh, I was seen, I was heard, and this was all that we were dreaming about and then some. And we set them up for the next phase of their ministry.
It's a partnership when we work with our clients to say, what impact are you trying to have? It's not about my idea of what the impact should be, but I want to learn about that. I want to hear about the impact it's having. I remember earlier this year when we helped just launch a kids building. I heard about the impact on the volunteers. I heard about the impact on the kids showing up. I got to see that experience they were having, and it was incredible. And so not only are we looking for technology to be excellent and communicate the gospel well, but how does it impact the people? Because in our world, everything we experience has an impact on us. And in a world of technology, the quality of the sound, the programming of the lighting, the quality of the video, the size of the video, all matters whether people are conscious of it or not. And how is the technology that we're working with aiding and supporting the message of the gospel, not overriding it, right? We don't want them to walk away just saying, oh, look how incredible that technology was. But what did you leave feeling? What did how did you experience Jesus differently or maybe in a new way is what we're really interested in.
I've heard it said multiple times, the definition of relationship is to know someone deeply and to be deeply known. There's so much that you can do as an integrator to make assumptions based on the quick tech, the quick survey of what tech is being used and what's on stage and what gear is here and there. But really, I think you got to dig a couple layers deeper to really begin to ask them what keeps them up at night. What are their pain points? What are the things they're struggling with? What are the things they're challenged with? And to start asking those second and third layer type questions, because from there, you begin to get a better picture and an understanding of how we can serve them better and how we can begin to maybe alleviate some of those pain points so that maybe that makes the volunteer's job a little bit easier. Maybe it makes their experience on a control surface that much more user-friendly, or maybe it makes that Sunday morning just a little less of a headache, and ultimately it becomes a joy instead of a pain or a frustration.
Something I think we have to be careful of when we approach a project or we approach a client is the word excellence is used a lot in production. And there's a fine line between trying to achieve perfection and excellence. And part of the way that we do that is we think about what's the definition of excellence from the client, not specifically what's our internal definition of excellence. We have a bar for the way we do things, but we also put that up against what the client expects. We could do things, quote unquote, almost perfect, but it takes a higher amount of resource, which means a larger amount of money. And we say, is that necessary? Is that level of excellence necessary across the board or perfection across the board? Excellence is doing the best with the resources we have available. And so part of the care and part of the question, part of the back and forth is defining what the outcome looks like and also being upfront around what costs could be. We could buy the best gear in the world, but that doesn't mean the system's going to be excellent. On the contrary, sometimes we see it makes it worse if you don't have a team who's equipped to use those tools. You can have great tools, poor execution. It's definitely not the best value at that point. Something I take pride in and that's really fun is just seeing our team continue to stay engaged in their local churches. A lot of weekends. We have a lot of travel as part of our job, so there's a balance in that. But so much of our team still plugs in and serves, whether it's on camera, or lighting, or audio, as a volunteer at a handful of local different churches in our city. And it's really special. It helps us stay connected to who we're serving and what we're doing. I got to be in a portable church for 2.5 years, pushing cases at 6 a.m. in the morning. And that's something I got to volunteer and be a part of to do alongside with people who have no idea about technology and what's happening there. And it continues to give me a perspective of how does somebody who doesn't have experience of this interact with it? How do they use it? What's something that's hard for them to deal with? What doesn't make sense? And then my brain instantly goes to, okay, how do we make that easier? Instead of a label, can it be a color? Plug in green to green. Okay, they can understand that, but they might not understand what a wire label means. And I think it's really powerful of having a team who's still engaged in the local church, not just sitting as experts in the church, but they don't actually serve. They don't actually connect. That's something we see the power in from a lot of different aspects, but those are just things I get to see every weekend, serving with individuals on an incredible system who have no background. And it gives me kind of a bar to say, did we do a great job implementing this so they can succeed at it?
We're part of this incredible story, and I'm just excited to see how people are leveraging technology and continuing to preach Christ, and to see people come to know him. That's the number one job of what we're trying to do. No one should be noticing technology over who Jesus is when they walk out on a Sunday morning. My hope is that people walk in and experience Christ in a way that brings healing to their life. Lives are changed and transformed. We use these tools to be able to communicate the gospel, and from there, we're changing the course of generations.